Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on what I'm calling Dragon Walker Control. Dragon Walker Control is what I refer to as a basically is it control, but has some kind of unique pieces. We'll go over over this in sections, but first we'll talk about the card that sort of inspired the deck is Sarkhan the Masterless. Sarkhan is a 5-mana walker that what we really care about is his +1, where until end of turn, each planeswalker we control becomes a 4/4 dragon. He can also make dragons to defend himself and other walkers, which is nice. And whenever a creature attacks us or a walker, every dragon we have pings them for 1. Again, our big bit is the +1, is the ability to turn walkers into dragons and apply pressure. And the sort of dragon sub-theme that kind of comes with Sarkhan just as a character, really. So, with this out of the way, we'll go through all of the planeswalkers first, which is this little column. Then we'll go through all of the dragons, and then the little assorted pieces that'll help us get there. We've already talked about Sarkhan, or Sarkhan the Masterless, so now we'll talk about Sarkhan Fireblood. Sarkhan Fireblood, 3-mana walker, we can either up it to loot a card away, or we can get 2 mana to ramp towards a dragon, which is actually pretty relevant. And if we happen to ult, it's nice to just put, 4 big old dragons into play. Running 2 Chandra, Torch of Defiance, basically probably the best red planeswalker that's ever been printed. Chandra does basically everything. We can use her to draw off the top, we can use her to ramp also, we can blow up opposing creatures, and if by some miracle she happens to ult, we've basically won the game. Again, we've already talked about Sarkhan the Masterless, turning our walkers into dragons and using dragons to defend our walkers. We also run 2 Chandra Awakened Inferno, since there are a lot of counter spells going away, and it's nice to have one walker that can't be countered. Again, looking at you, Aethergust. Chandra Awakened Inferno is pretty simple, again, besides being a walker that can't be countered. Her uptick applies an increasing amount of emblems that will basically put a clock on the game. She can also function as a board wipe most of the time, or she could be single target removal if she needs to be. Again, this Chandra and Chandra Torch of Defiance are good because they're just kind of toolboxy planeswalkers. We enjoy that. Also run 2 Ugin the Spirit Dragons, twofold. One being a good planeswalker that kind of like the Chandras does a little bit of everything. You can uptick it to bolt something, down tick it to wipe the board if you need to, or if it happens to ult, you can basically bury someone in card advantage. Also, works double, sort of flavor win, as Ugin is both a planeswalker and a dragon, which is a nice little happy coincidence. The dragons we have 2, basically Prismari themselves, simple 4-mana 3/4 flyer, makes a treasure token, which again allows us to ramp into other things, be it other dragons or planeswalkers. And also allows it says artifacts, but for the sake of this deck, it's basically all treasure tokens. It allows, when Prismari is out, to turn our treasure tokens into permanent mana rocks. Running 2 Goldspan Dragons as a 5-mana 4/4 flying and haster, so it can immediately apply pressure when it comes down. And the ability to not only to make a treasure token itself and the opportunity to make additional treasure tokens, the ability to basically double up a treasure token's worth can be useful for, again, ramping into big things. And if nothing else, Goldspan is just a good card to play to apply pressure, like most of the dragons are in the deck. We have 2 copies of Lathliss. Lathliss is basically just a way to sort of go wide if you need to, if they have a way to sort of deal with single target, or deal enough single target removal. Since Lathliss not only is it a big 6-mana 6/6er with flying, Also, whenever another non-token dragon, which again we're talking about now, enters the battlefield, you make another dragon. A way to, again, build your board hopefully wider than your opponent's spot removal will allow them to deal with. And the fact that you can fire breathe our dragons up is a nice way to close out the game if the opportunity presents itself. Final dragon we're running is 2 Niv-Mizzet Paruns. Much like Chandra, Ugin is nice because it can't be countered and there's a good amount of counter spells floating around. Niv-Mizzet is also just a nice kind of big, like all the dragons really, a big flying body that can fastly close out a game. Also sort of makes removing it a losing proposition since I get a card and get to ping something. As well as if I happen to, say, use all of my assorted bits and pieces over here, I can also turn that into damage to wherever I need to be it going over the top or hitting your creatures. Those are the dragons. The last little section we'll really talk about in the main deck is the sort of assorted pieces. Banefire is nice for pretty much the obvious reasons. It's just an X spell that can target anything, whether it needs to be opposing creatures or walkers, or with enough mana and enough, say, treasures that count for a lot, can be used to just sort of make a really big Banefire that can't be countered or prevented to sort of blow our opponent up. I'm running 2 copies of Chemister's Insight. Nice way to just draw some cards, instant speed, and effectively getting 4 cards out of 1 card is nice. Dragon Sword can be both a ramping tool and a card draw engine. Again, we like the versatility. Neither one of these abilities is great on its own, but the fact that it's paired in 1 card is what sends it over the top. And we're basically like a Dragons deck, so it's a good, flavor win. Running 2 copies of Prismari Command. Much like other cards, Prismari Command just does a whole lot of good things that individually wouldn't be that great, but because it's all in 1 card, it's pretty good. Prismari Command can either shock something, can let us draw 2, discard 2, can either make a treasure token to ramp, or destroy target artifact. All of these things are good. It's like I've talked about, and many people have, the commands are good just because of their versatility. Running 3 copies of Ionize as a sort of catch-all counterspell. These are nice to have in a slower deck like this when your top end is big meaty planeswalkers and big meaty dragons. You want to be able to actually get there. And Ionize, as well as all of our aforementioned tools, will help us get to that point. Running 2 Electrolyze in the main board is just a nice little game one way to sort of deal with tokens if we see them. It's just a nice little spell that replaces itself and can, shoot whatever you need it to. Also running 3 copies of Spitflame. Not only is this a good 4 damage for 3 little creature removal spell, but since we are running a lot of dragons, we can actually make use of the recursive element of Spitflame. So it's a good flavor win, and it's good in practice for the deck. Lands, pretty simple. Well, oops, let me put over there. Nice little even split of islands and mountains. We have some shock lands and some check lands, just because they're nice. I have a lot of good Izzet lands. Couple temples. Since we don't mind being a little slower, the scrying can be useful. Running a couple Surtland Frostpyres, simply because, again, we don't mind it coming into play tapped, and sometimes game 1, we just need a little tiny board sweeper effect, and the Frostpyre is good for that. And we also run Castle Vantress, just because, hey, we like to scry and sort of curate the top of our deck. That is the main board. The sideboard is, I would like to think, relatively self-explanatory. 3 negates, lots of important non-creatures running around, be them other planeswalkers or opposing wraths or what have you. A couple of Sweltering Suns for against the opposing go-wide aggro-y decks. Nice to have a board sweeper. And again, if you happen to make a bad call and bring it in when you don't think you need it, or if you never get a chance to cast it, you can always cycle it away. A couple copies of Tybalt Rakish Instigator. We like this effect. I mean, the ability for Tybalt to make some little devils that are okay is fine. It's really here for the opponents can't gain life clause, since there is a lot of Soul Sistery style decks and it's a planeswalker, so you can take advantage of it with things like Sarkhan. We also run 2 Grafdigger's Cages against a lot of some graveyard shenanigans, as well as, again, Coco and Muxus, if you're particularly scared of those. A couple copies of Aether Gust as a nice way to get around things that can't be countered, and if you're going against your very aggressive, sort of like Gruul-colored decks, Aether Gust is a nice thing. A couple of Abrades is a sort of very flexible spell where you can either bolt a creature or destroy an artifact, which is very nice. I'm also running 2 Fries because there's been a lot of blue-white control-y stuff, or again your Soul Sisters, or like Mono Blue Tempo, and I personally feel that Fry is a very good sort of tool to deal with that. And that is Dragon Walker Control. So if you're just here for the deck tech, thank you for watching, like and sub, all that jazz. If you're sticking around, we're going now to game number 1. Game number 1 with Dragon Walker Control. Go ahead and play first. I'm going to keep this even though I shouldn't, because I do have a Spitflame in hand, and I'm going to assume we'll draw into some blue sources. See what our opponent has. Try him. That's a one of the. That's like the trophy. How did you even get that? Whatever. Okay, this is a lot of. I mean, it's a lot of mountains, but if nothing else, I could just play mountains up to Sarkhan, which is something. So our opponent is 4 color something. Goldspan is nice. We'll probably play the Goldspan Dragon if we don't draw a blue source, so we can actually, like, you know, take advantage of our stuff. Cultivate. Yeah, they've ramped a lot, but to be fair, I mean, haven't really had the ability to stop them with their hand. So I was gonna go Goldspan, try and apply some pressure. This at least gives us some access to blue. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we draw a land, they might just exile. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Gotta be honest. Hang on, what are we doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I will do. I think we'll just electrolyze their Tibalt. Submit 1, 2 damage. We'll go ahead and just keep the counterspell open. Did they get to keep that? You get an emblem with. Oh, okay, you get the emblem stays, and that's what allows them to cast the Goldspan. Cool. I was a little confused there for a second. Okay, that literally has to die. Because if it doesn't, there's a good chance we just lose, like, pretty much immediately, since they've been able to do more or less whatever they want. Okay, Narsa kind of sucks, but we'll be fine. See, they have a. They get. Genesis Ultimatum is a thing. I guess we can do a Sarkhan, I suppose. I don't feel great about this particular game. Let it be known. Suppose you could argue we did keep a bad hand, but it wasn't like inoperable. Okay. You're ramping a lot. Yeah. If we might live, we might just lose, which does suck. Really? I don't agree with that decision, but that's your call, I guess. I guess we'll do a Dragon Sword because I need to get some goddamn mana down. We can go ahead and discard the Spit Flame, since I don't think it's going to be very useful. Right. Yeah. I forgot Narset. That one-sided prison bullshit. It's real cool. Electrolyze is bad. Spit Flame doesn't appear like it's going to be that good. Probably neither will the Electrolyzes. So we'll get like a few negates in there. And I feel like that's all we can really hope to do. Hopefully we have... We'll try and, you know, mulligan for like a better hand this time. Like this. This is a better hand. Go ahead and play the Temple. See what's on top. Honestly, actually, I'll just keep the land. Why not? I see no reason not to. Hopefully we'll be able to, like, keep up a little bit with their ridiculous I-ramp, like, really fast plan. Which, to be fair, it's, like, not a bad plan. Pardon me. Our opponent is exploring away. Next turn, it's probably just a Chandra. Right? Yeah, take one of my creatures, which is real cool, dude. I mean, I know I'm gonna down-tick the Chandra now, so there's that, I guess. Since I would very much prefer not to have my own Goldspan again taken from me, if I can at all avoid it. Ah, that's right. I think it gives, because it's an X cost, I believe it gives Valky the ability to have priority, which is annoying, but I get it. Honestly, next turn, if the opportunity presents itself, I will just play a castle and play a Chandra. I honestly think we're, like, kind of okay here. Like, yeah, it sucked that the goal was resolved, but, like, they were going to ramp pretty much no matter what I did. Go ahead and play the Chandra. Probably needs to die, though. Since it has... They have, I believe, all the mana they need, yeah, with the Wool Tree now to activate it. Okay, that's fine. I can actually deal with that. Okay, so we'll uptick a Chandra. What do we do here? I guess we could do 5. We do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Spending 4, going down to 3, 4. Nope, we'll just do this. It's not exactly gonna kill our opponent, but we need to at least make it to where if they want to use the down tick on Tibble, that it dies. Okay. There's a Genesis Ultimatum. Alright. I don't know what our opponent's deck is, but I gotta be honest, I am interested. Other than it just appears to be some kind of generic Super Friends thing. Like non-white Super Friends, or no white Super Friends, or how do you want to word that? Alright. You have things to do. But I must question what you're desiring to do. Yeah. You're gonna cultivate. You're making some dudes. At which point I'm in it. I'm down. Making a lot of mana. I don't... Alright. I don't think I need to... really, like... Ugin right now. We're not, like, in a panic state. So, +1/+0, so we can send Goldspan into Tybalt and Prismari into Saheeli. And then we'll go ahead and 5 and 5, so we activate Lathliss one more time. That kills their walkers. I mean, they could Genesis and ultimate him into God knows what. But I'm in it. I don't know what their deck is, but I am in this game. Yeah. Top 5 cards. Permanents on the play. Rest in your hands. What did you get? You got a Narset and some lands. Which is a thing. It's not bad. I ain't trying to gaslight her, brother. Or sister. Down to a Narset. Finding a Luca. Okay, it's got to be Luca into some show and tell bullshit. Okay, I guess that's what they're trying to do. But I don't... Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think there's anything you show and tell into. Or sneak attack, I guess is the red version. That I'm, like, super scared of. Can I just win? 6 and 10. 10 and 13. 13 pumping... 1, 2, 3, 3... Yeah, we win, right? I think we win, unless I'm, like, doing my math wrong. Decline. Nothing on their board has flying. So we attack, and with all the mana... Yeah! There we go! I think our sideboard plan was correct. You just want negates, and you want to, like, counter their weird shit. I now know that it was a good idea to keep some creature removal. Since we now know they want to sneak attack stuff in from a Luca. So you want to be able to, like, ping away their little tiny... dirtily tokens. Boy. Let it be known that this probably will bite me in the ass, but I'm going to keep his hand. I have 2 lands, a negate, hopefully draw into a land for Dragon Sword. There we go. So we'll... So we'll Vantress on 1, Mountain on 2, and then have a negate available. Then we can Sulfur Falls on 3 and play a Dragon Sword. Like, yeah, you get some of our creatures, which, like, kinda sucks. The question is, does he take Prismari because it's low to the ground, or Niv-Mizzet because he's scared of it? To be fair, with the amount of ramp this our opponent's deck can do, I don't terribly begrudge them. What you doing, babe girl? Hello. Hello. Yeah, I guess we'll allow the cultivate. I'd rather negate the big thing they're looking to ramp into rather than the ramp itself right now. Let's see, this takes him to 4, next turn he goes to 5, so he can't become Niv-Mizzet yet. Which I suppose is technically something. We'll go ahead and just play the Dragon Sword. We could just die. Or they could sneak some, like, Golos bullshit in. Sahili is kind of some Golos bullshit, gotta be honest. We got like a, well... I think, no matter what I do, basically, he can become Niv-Mizzet next turn. So I'd rather just hold up a couple negates here and, like, hope to just hit my Chandra next turn. And then hopefully, like, start applying pressure with the emblems. Which will hopefully, like, scare them into making arguably bad plays in the name of hurrying the game along. Okay. Chooses to Golos instead of, which is okay. How much is that? It's what? 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's 7. I'm almost to the point where I kind of... I guess the question is... I think we're just going to uptick the Chandra and go with that plan. It could go wrong and might get me killed, to be fair. But I don't think I'm... Because he's pretty much got everything he needs now to, like, turn the corner and do dumb shit. And I don't really have a whole lot of input on that. Luckily, he just happens to brick and hit some bad shit, which is good. I suppose the question is, does he send his creatures into my face or into Chandra? Because if he sent... Yeah, there we go.
If you want to fight, you got it.
Okay, we could down tick, at which point his Valky dies, his token dies, he's left with the Golos, which he can activate. So I think we're gonna down tick here. And then I'll play a Niv-Mizzet and hope to, like, slowly accrue value that way. Maybe it was smart to just play the Prismari and hold up some negates. I acknowledge that this might have been the case. Land. Genesis Ultimatum. Now, is he one of those I take infinite turns with my Genesis Ultimatum style decks? Is that what we're going against? Honestly, I'm just going to send it up top. If he plays the ultimatum, we're actually going to kill the token. He does make another one, which does kind of suck. Well, if he does an instant or sorcery, I can just kill the next servo. But I guess it's arguably pissing in the wind a little bit. Which one do I want you to have? To be shuffling your opponent's library. Chandra will actually fuck me. If you want to cast your other two super... Okay, this is just some Super Friends weird shit. Oh yeah, I forgot, you can... So my Niv-Mizzet was dying basically no matter what happened there, which makes me feel better to know that there was actually no correct play there, that my shit was getting kicked in regardless. I don't think there's a whole lot that lets me win here. Oh, he just pulls another one. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, baby girl. I don't think there's anything I do, because I can't counter it. That kind of sucks. I can't draw a spell because... Hey, I Heard you like, you know, playing the game. Nah, not today, son. Guess we can auto-pay this.
Feel the heat of my flames.
Yeah. You could play... Our opponent could play Chandra here. Probably will, really. All likelihood. Okay. To be fair, this is like one pile of cards against another pile of cards, so you can't really hope for much more. So I guess our opponent just gets to do dumb shit now? Which is the thing, I guess. Just whatever. Yeah, do your thing.
I know. I am hot, aren't I?
Ahar, Chandra. My Chandra, might I also add. Which is some salt in the wound. Yeah, that's the thing that happens. This is another one of those, like, things I mean, maybe I'm just a salty salmon, to be fair. But kind of my problem with this, that's a bad idea. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, you know what? Send all your tokens to die. Oh, they're slow rolling. I'm not crazy, right? My Prismari is gonna kill all their tokens and they're gonna be shit out of luck, correct? Yeah, that'll do, though.
Listen to them roar. What I will consume them all.
I can just let it bounce off, so that's actually a good thing. Hello, child. I don't know what the hell we do here. I can't draw, so I'm like literally just like shit out of luck, which is terribly fun. What the fuck do I do here? You know what? I'm just gonna give our opponent this because I don't want to sit here for the next 20 minutes. They've kind of done this thing that I fucking hate in decks, is that they have no way to, like, end the game. Like, yeah, they've done their thing, but they're just kind of spinning their wheels, and I got shit to do. On to game number 2. Game number 2 with the Dragon Walker control deck. It's a 2-lander. I have some 3-drops. I'm on the draw. We'll go ahead and keep it. Might be wrong. It might come to bite us in the ass. Come on, game. Give me a land. Preferably a red land. Not gonna lie, that'd be very nice. That'll do. See what our opponent wants to ramp into. Hi, baby girl. I love you. You're very cute. Okay. Playing another mana creature. I guess we will Sarkhan, and then we'll throw away one of the Spit Flames, since we're not going to really have enough mana to do both. I mean, that's a land. That is something. Pardon? I mean, that's good. Scry, see if you actually want to cast the... Okay, that's pretty cool. Alright, that's a funny interaction. I'm not even mad. That's pretty good. I guess... Oh, we're gonna uptick and get some red mana for a Goldspan Dragon. That's pretty much happening no matter what. Hi, baby girl. Since they can... I think we're beyond... Or they're beyond the point of, like, where it matters if I... kill their, what's it called? Their mana dork, since they're just casting stuff off the top of their library anyway. The black source, see some degenerate shit off the top again. But I like this deck. Our opponent's deck is pretty cool. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I guess kicker spells are pretty good with Bolas' Citadel because it only cares about the casting cost, right? Just mana cost, yeah. Mana cost does not, in fact, equal kicker cost. Each player, blah 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 blah.
It's going to die eventually anyway.
That's annoying. We'll go ahead and... I'm actually happy that we didn't, is what I mean to say. Ah, fuck me. There we go. Well, that's more or less the game, right? Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Alright. Alright, that's a cool interaction. Like, it fucking sucks to lose and all that, but that was pretty cool. Like, I'm... like, a negative person by and large, but that was pretty fucking cool. That deserves a showcasing, to be entirely fair. We gotta make sure that degenerate shit doesn't happen again, though. If at all possible. I tend to bitch and moan a lot about, like, things. That's just because I'm, like, a bitchy and moany person. So you shouldn't take any of my complaints too terribly seriously. But by and large, Historic's in a pretty good place as a format. Individual decks or playstyles might drive me up a wall, but the format health overall is actually really good, I think. Of course, your mileage may vary, and if it is, tell me about it in the comments below and all that. Oh no.
Open your books.
Oh no! Not again! I don't want stupid shit to happen again. Okay. I think our Game 2 plan will actually be bring in some... I like Ged. Sorry, I think our Game 2 plan will be to bring in some braids, because we gotta kill that Bolas' Citadel off the top. Let me hold priority here so we can, like, attempt to lessen the blow. Right? So it becomes the target. In response, I spit flame down a random dude. The particulars don't terribly matter. And then, as the Professor triggers resolve, I think we might still just die, which does suck. We almost certainly die, right? Yep, yeah, baby girl. Daddy's getting his shit kicked in by it. Honestly, pretty cool deck. I can't really begrudge him all that much. You know, yeah, that's pretty cool. Get a little cheery emote. I'm not even mad. That was actually, by all accounts, pretty fucking cool. Maybe some Tybalts, actually. Some Tybalts and some Braids. Ionize is pretty cool. Dragon Sword is probably not really going to be that useful. Spit Flame could probably go down some of those. And maybe go down, like, one Lathliss, since I don't see us getting that far. How does that... What's the wording of that? Play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Isn't that right, baby girl? Let's see. Play lands, cast spells, top of your library. So that's not from your library, so Cage doesn't work like I want it to. I guess a negate or two would be kind of nice. We go down like a Sarkhan for another negate. Again, this video is going to be jam-packed with some big old sopping L's. But I'm pretty happy, for the most part, with the deck kind of showing what it's supposed to do. Hey, got a Tibalt in the opening hand. So at least they can't gain fucking ludicrous amounts of life. Let's see what our opponent does. It'll probably still be a Tibalt turn because we really want to keep the Prismari Command, destroy artifact clause. What, baby? I love you. You're very cute. With a baby. We'll go ahead and might as well make a dude to pressure the board, nothing else. Yeah, no life gain for you. Might actually play Chandra and down tick to kill that Dryad. We want to, if we can, really reduce our opponent's ability to do like fucking crazy shit, if at all possible. Next turn, we can just uptick the Chandra to do what we need. Probably kills the Chandra because he has a brain. Yeah, can't really begrudge you. And I can't get too upset. That's technically a land. That's my fault for not specifying what kind of land. We got some counter spells though, and a Prismari Command, so we can counter some stupid shit. Which is always nice. Maze Mind Tome is not worth getting rid of. Nor is the second one. I actually have to get rid the counterspell this Thoughtseize, which feels really bad from a mana value perspective, but we desperately need it. Goldspan. Now we don't have any mana to like instant speed destroy a Citadel if it comes down, which would suck. Because with their two Maze Mind Tomes, they're going to be able to really look deep. They must have found what they wanted, right? Otherwise you would have bothered to scry the other tome, correct? I mean, that's pretty fucking close. God damn it, that's annoying.
Sorry, you don't make grade.
That's nice to know. Miss Liliana still has her edgelordy side to her. We'll go ahead and just play the Chandra and start upticking in an attempt to close out the game. Go ahead and get rid of Professor Onyx, because we've seen the admittedly cool degenerate shit that Liliana can enable, to be fair. So I guess you would call this Witherbloom or Golgari Storm, I guess, for lack of a better term. Honestly, low-key, like, the only reason why I felt safe enough to play the Chandra and uptick is because Tybalt's out, and I feel like I can... all the damage I will apply will actually stick. So we're just gonna, again, uptick away. And we're probably not even gonna bother to cast these spells. We want to keep counter spells and like a command open if we need it. And we're pretty much in a good spot. Feels like we have this game under control, which is good. I think I would have Maze Mind after the... Haha! No life gain for you. Not in my house. I think our sideboard plan is about as effective as one could hope for it to be. So I think we just keep the plan and just do it again. I like our opponent's deck, though. It is honestly pretty interesting. If it's basically like my gain drain little deck, if you were to try and like really optimize it, as I imagine it ends up something akin to what our opponent is playing. Electrolyze, it might actually be kind of useful to get rid of the little Florahedron dudes. which does sound fucking crazy to say out loud, admittedly. Let's see. Passage from our opponent, cracking it, see what they go to find. Find a Swan. We just play a Steam Vents untapped, see what we do. Another Fabled Passage. I mean, they're playing from behind, but they, like us, are a slower deck whose curve appears to be higher anyway. So there's that. Go ahead and play the second red source so we don't fuck ourselves when it comes to our Sarkhan next turn. Honestly, I still think it actually is Sarkhan next turn. I think we can discard one of our Prismari since we have 2 in hand. Sulfur Falls is nice. Ah, Dread Present. Very nice. Well, there goes doing cool shit. Hi, baby girl. Yeah, coming out. I would argue... Well, there goes that fucking plan. Although, I suppose we have things to do next turn, no matter what. I would argue the Goldspan is better to take, but I could be wrong. Oh, yeah, they just... Right, they just actually fucking attack and kill it, because I'm an idiot. I mean, I guess we have counter spells, so we're not, like, totally shit out of luck. Okay, I was thinking our opponent... fuck that card. I was thinking our opponent is some sort of Storm deck, but with the Dread Presence thing... I think it's literally just like a green-black drain deck, for lack of a better word or way to describe it. I'm actually going to keep the Ionize open. This way, if they play some stupid shit, I can, like... have a recourse. Okay, I need to... I'm gonna electrolyze their face here and just try and find something useful. Sarkhan is not something useful. Gotta be honest, game. Yeah, that's a thing. Doing a lot of annoying shit. A Chandra would be great. Well, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 5. Okay, I can do both. That's actually, like, not miserable. I weirdly have to attack to make this work. But this actually, like, lets us live a turn. Granted, like, a buttload of stuff kills us. So that reality is not lost on me. But we've at least, on board, we survived the turn. Do they have lethal? Yeah, that'll do it. Pretty good from our opponent. So it is like some weird Storm deck that just happens to also run Dread Presences and stuff. To be fair, not a bad deck. But anywho, thank you all for watching. Like the video if you liked it, subbed if you like me, and stay safe. And remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.